Hey guys, Graham here. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the beginning part of a sheet of flash. So I'm going to show you kind of how I would sketch up the composition. This is going to be really simple. I'm just going to do some skulls. So I'm going to have sort of one bigger skull over here, and then one skull here and one skull here. So two smaller ones, one bigger one. Not exactly 100% sure on what exactly I'm going to do yet, but I've got a rough idea. I think these two are going to be like small skulls with snakes wrapping around them. And this one's going to be probably sat in some grass with maybe some crossed bones going through its mouth. Maybe do a little bit of text over the top of his head. Not sure what it's going to say yet. I haven't really planned this out that well, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, when I'm drawing a skull, obviously you want a kind of basic sort of area of how big it's going to be on the flash. I think that's a good size for it. So just probably start off like kind of sketching in where the cheekbones are going to go. You got this line coming through here, leading out to a cheekbone, and then you got the teeth kind of about here somewhere. Back of the head comes out from the cheekbone somewhere. So and then your eyes are going to be around here somewhere, nose, and I need the mouth to be kind of open because of the bones going through it. So if I have one bone coming through here, so it's just like I'm roughing it in, like really rough, just to kind of get a basic composition of where everything's going to be. So these bottom teeth would be around here, top teeth would be around here, kind of overlapping the bones a little bit. Jaw would kind of come out at this, at the bottom. Yeah, nose would be like there. Give this out a little bit actually. Okay. So yeah, I'm just kind of like really roughly kind of putting in a basic composition of where things go. Like I said, I didn't plan this out incredibly well. But yeah, we're getting a kind of idea. I want this skull to be a bit more detailed and kind of a little bit more sort of realistic than the other two. Those other ones can be really basic looking things, but I wanted this one to be a kind of, because it's bigger, I just wanted to get a bit more detail in it. But yeah, put a few blades of grass in here, like I say, just kind of rough in where they're going to be. A couple more down here. Just so it kind of looks like it's kind of lost in some grass somewhere. Bring this end out a bit here. This bone needs to come down a little bit so it's in the centre of the mouth. Right, so on to the next one. What I want to do with this one, probably have it sideways facing as well. So sort of sketching the rough sort of shape. Cheekbone. I always usually start kind of with the cheekbones, and then you know have where the teeth are going to go. Stick the eyes in. Might be a bit far over actually. I mean, skulls are pretty simple to draw. They're just kind of there's a few kind of variations of ways to draw them. Like with this one, I might actually just put a line here. Have the teeth kind of all joined together. Do like a real basic style one. Got to have the gap between the cheekbone and the mouth. Actually, you kind of don't. You could just have that line there and have this line coming up here and joining up to the skull here. Have a real simple looking one. So you wouldn't actually really strictly need a cheekbone with that one. So if I got rid of that, just have this line here joining up to the teeth here. lines like this instead. That could look pretty cool like that. Just really, really simple, if you see what I mean. So yeah, so real simple sort of design like that. And yeah, I'll probably put a snake with this one. So where would the snake go? Got a lot of, you know, this hasn't got anything really going on around here, so you could have the snake kind of wrapping around there. Have the head coming up here. Really simple way of drawing snakes is just to kind of have draw the top of the head in, and then kind of have the mouth like coming off down here. Join it up. And eyes quite far forward towards the front of the head on snakes. Yeah, I'm really not planning this out. I'm just kind of roughing stuff in and kind of seeing how it goes. Maybe have it coming out this side. A bit of body in here. Yeah, I think that'll look pretty cool. Snake's tongues, they can look pretty good when they just kind of come off the bottom of the mouth, so kind of coming out of here. Stick a couple of little fangs in. You know, this is really, really simple traditional stuff, like I say, so I'm not really too worried about it. A couple of spots on him. Add a bit of colour in. I'm probably not even going to colour him completely green. I'll probably do the spots green. So yeah, there we go. That's a nice simple one. Right, I'll do this one face on, I think. So have it kind of a bit longer as he's face on. Cheekbones. They're a really good place to start skulls, is just drawing the cheekbones in, because it gives you a good reference for everything else. So you stick a nose in, sort of in line with the top of the cheekbones. I'm probably going to do the same as what I did with the bottom one, not really separate anything too much. Just kind of have teeth kind of going across like that, all joined up. I kind of like doing skulls like that because it just keeps them real simple. Kind of have a couple of lines in it, separate it out a little bit. Snake could actually be wrapping over the top of his head like this. Maybe the mouth out there. Different way of doing the tongue on this one. Here and up back, same as the other one. So yeah, I've got a couple of little sort of outlines of designs there. So what I'll do now is I'll get another sheet and just kind of trace them through. I'll do this using the light box so you can see a bit better. Okay, so with this one, do the big one first. They're not really in the right place on the sheet at the moment. I'm not really too bothered about that. I won't think about that too much until I'm actually tracing them onto the watercolour paper. It's just kind of getting everything in the right place. So like I say, this one I'm going to put a bit more sort of detail in and kind of get it a bit more, not realistic, but a bit more sort of detailed looking than the other ones. So I'm just kind of refining and simplifying, making it less of a sketch and more of a sort of line illustration. And every now and again you can switch off and just kind of see what you got. Well, I can kind of see, I'm sure you can't see it very well in the video. So what I'll do is I'll just speed up this bit, do it in kind of time lapse, so you guys can don't have to watch all this boring stuff. Okay, so that's the first one kind of pretty much completed. I was thinking I might put maybe a bit more detail up the top somewhere, and when you get to this point you can kind of see a bit clearer kind of what you've got and what you might need to change. Maybe add a little bit more of this grass stuff coming up here, just kind of round off the bottom a bit better. I'll get rid of some of that actually. This is just kind of like the last sort of stage of refining it before you start lining it up, so you've got to get everything kind of how you think you want it to look, because after this it's tracing it straight onto the watercolour paper, but I think that's looking pretty cool. Obviously I will change it a bit more when I actually do it. I don't really like the way those teeth are a bit out of line, so I'll just line them up a bit more, make them a bit more sort of all sort of the same length as each other. That one's still coming up a bit far. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Any little changes, you can just trace them, change them when you trace it out onto the watercolour paper. But yeah, that's that one done anyway. Okay, so here's the full sheet, well, the initial sketches anyway done. Obviously these ones are a lot simpler. These are just some real simple old school designs. I think these ones will be real fun to paint. Obviously this one, like I say, a bit more detailed, but I think they all fit quite nicely together, so I'm quite happy with this. I might add a little bit more detail around the edges, maybe a few of these little like flourishes and stuff, like maybe a couple of them on these old ones, really old school looking ones. I don't know, but yeah, that's pretty much how I go about sort of designing it. It's just like two traces really, and then I've got it. So yeah, the next video will be how I paint it, how I line it up onto watercolor paper, etc, etc. If you've seen my videos before, I'm sure you know how to do all that already. But yeah, don't forget to like this video if it helped you out. Comment with any suggestions on what you want to see, or if you maybe want me to get a bit more detail about drawing skulls. But like I say, there's not really too much that I could show you, but I'll try and kind of show you some more examples if you did want any more information on them. And yeah, any other comments, I always reply to all my comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you all soon.